Hi, everyone. I have my wonderful friend here with us today. And today we're just having a real chat about how spirit is showing up in life for her. We've sat together a few times. I've read for her before. So, introducing to you my dear friend Janine. Say hello.
Hello, I'm so glad to be here, Shane. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for being here. And it means the world to me. So
Oh,
this is a bit different, I'm used
yeah.
to the flow being in the channeling state, and this is I really appreciate you showing up in this way. It's an opportunity to connect again, but to celebrate you and the experience that we've had and how you're unfolding it and implementing it into your life and the journey that you're exploring with having loved ones that are still with you just on a different channel. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Shane.
So jump right in here with me. um, I often ask this to folks at the end of a reading, so I'm going to flip it and ask you first.
Okay.
What brought you to me?
I don't know. Maybe spirit brought me to you. I
Love that answer because spirit's always right.
well, I have the good fortune of knowing you before I needed you. I guess. So our story, it's not just my story, it's our story, began, I don't even know how many years ago, a few years
Yep.
ago, when we both were in a learning program together, having nothing
Right.
to do with,
Right.
mediumship. I have a different kind of career, but we were both wanting to learn some skills related to online marketing and, learning how to kind of reach our audiences in different ways. And it was interesting. I don't know how you remember it, but we just kind of started an offline conversation and kind of encouraged one another and helped one another through learning something that was just maybe not second nature to us. And I just found such a beautiful friendship with you through that experience. It was really important to me, and I just had so much fun in our conversations, and we had a lot to laugh about because we were trying new things, and that's always hard to do, right? So we were being kind of brave together,
Where
um, and learners together. When anyway, so it was just we just kind of knew each other, and in a professional way, but in a friendly way, and more as colleagues. And so that's what first kind of connected us. But I'm sure you were very surprised the day you received a request to do a reading together. I filled out the form and probably showed up on your calendar. And I'm sure that was, I wondered actually what went through your mind when you saw that.
well, you said it. It was a surprise, but pleasant one,
Yeah,
despite the bittersweet nature of why we convened. But
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, I remember it so well because I didn't give you a heads up that I had been
right.
going through a challenging time. We weren't in a lot of frequent conversation at that point in time, mainly because I was really my priorities were focused on some other things, and I sadly lost someone who was very important to me, and you didn't even know that that struggle was happening. And I booked a session with you because I was looking for some reassurance that the person that I cared for was okay, and that the transition that they went through went went okay, and from their perspective. And I had a lot of worry about that, so I needed a little bit of support, and I didn't know what to expect. Honestly, we never had really talked in depth about what you do, but I just knew from the time knowing you before that you were just one of the most authentic, honest people I had ever met, and I had an immediate connection with you years ago, so there was no question in my mind that you were the real deal. But I came in with no expectations because I just I didn't know, like, does it always happen? Does it not always happen, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what kind of brought us together and why I booked that first session. But as you said earlier, we've talked a couple of times with a couple different readings, and they've all been different and amazing in their own way. That was a
Well,
long-winded answer.
but I love every breath of it.
Okay, good.
And yes, and I love it because it's true. And yes, we definitely did vibe from the very beginning. And I think, yes, like you had shared, we were both kind of at a vulnerable place in our own right. And so it really solidified the trust that that was born. And then it
Yeah,
grew. And
around tech skills.
yes, hello. I often say I don't speak computer because I speak spirit. Um,
Yeah.
but fast forward, look, spirit is always in the lead and divine timing is always at play. So when the time
Hmm.
was right is when we connected in this capacity for a reading. So away we went, and I appreciate you sharing all of that. And like you had even just said, it does vary for everybody. Some people know me not at all and
Right.
just
A lot of
literally
people.
Google
Hmm.
me, use their search engine, and show up at my door. Or, through the good word, they find me. And I would assume those folks have somewhat of a level of trust with me, from their family and friends that have come to me.
Yeah,
Um,
probably.
so yeah, it does vary, but I appreciate how you share how our our connection was strong personally that led to your decision with having the experience. And I will say, even on the flip side, for complete strangers, we have not a personal rapport yet together. There is some level of trust that they have
Oh,
within
I'm sure.
the bigger
Hmm.
picture, not even just with me, but in the bigger picture. So that says everything. In short, everyone trusts to some degree,
Hmm.
because they wouldn't show up if they didn't.
Yeah.
Um, so thank you for answering. Which brings me to my next question.
Okay.
You're going to love this one, and hopefully I do too. What burning question do you have for me
Today or always?
right now?
I always have a million questions, but I think I think because I did have this like personal connection with you, and my readings were very specific and powerful and very shockingly exact. I wondered if that was the case because we had a rapport with one another, or does that happen in all your readings, even if it's someone that you don't know? I've always just been kind of curious about that.
So my reaction, I think, gave it away because you're on point with this question and how it kind of ties into the first one with what brought you to me. Um, Basically, despite the personal connection that we may or may not have, it really doesn't matter because generally speaking, in every communication, in every said reading, spirit always delivers. Now,
That's so interesting. Hmm.
right, the personal connection can lend to either a more flowy reading versus a more challenging one where it's, more work on my part.
Mm-hmm.
The saving grace is that spirit saves the day because spirit is in the lead, and it's my job to get out of my own way and allow the info
Yeah,
to just flow. So that's really the only difference when it comes down to how somebody found me. Was there a personal connection or not? It
interesting.
really doesn't matter except for how the information um, flows through the reading.
Hmm.
So
Okay,
if that makes
cool.
sense.
Yeah, it does. I just was always interested and wanted to know that.
Yep, so very good. That was an awesome question. See, I knew you could. Let's see here. Tell me some of your hopes and or hesitations
Like
with
in general in life.
coming to me for a yeah, yeah, let me specify that. It's important to say with choosing to come to me for a reading.
Oh,
We
for
don't have
coming to you
time
for a
for
reading. Gotcha,
general
gotcha. Well,
questions.
I think like my hope was to feel some sense of peace. You know, I mean, the loss for me at the time was very recent, and I knew you knew nothing about it, and I just was looking to just to have some peace. You know, the situation happened very quickly, unexpectedly, that kind of thing, um, and and my hesitation was I didn't want to put you on the spot. Like I knew you were going to be surprised to see me on your schedule. Um, and I was worried that like you were going to be felt like that you were going to feel some pressure. And I was I was open to nothing happening as well. Like I figured, oh, no loss, you know, if nothing happens. I just didn't want you to feel like pressured because I care about you and your experience as well. So that was my only hesitation at the time. Yeah.
Wow. I love
Yeah.
that, of course, and I bet a lot of people can relate to that. Um, yeah, because
The
well,
hope part, yeah, maybe not the hesitation part, but but yeah, I had nothing to worry about. I mean, there was a lot of amazing information that really did help, but it just, you know, I
nice.
just didn't want you to feel pressured in any way. So yeah.
Right. Um, because just about everybody has that same hope of, wondering is their loved one really okay? So that is like the common denominator.
Mhm.
And then I would say the same thing for the hesitations that just about everybody comes with some degree of skepticism. Not saying that's relevant for you, but hesitation slash skepticism, don't say that fast 5 times,
Yeah.
but all in that realm, these two things, hopes and
Yeah.
hesitation, go hand in hand. So, yeah, thank you.
That's a good
So,
question.
well, thank you. And good answers and good questions from you too. So that's all for now, folks. Short and sweet, but from the heart. Um, until next time, know that we are forever connected to the ones we love. So bye for now. Bye, Janine.
Bye.